Well, hello, and welcome back, subscribers and new viewers, to another Sunday Speed Paint. Before we get started, I'd like to thank all of you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers recently. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And also, I hope that you guys enjoy the new adjustments and updates to the art for my character, Stencil Fox, and the studio changes. I am going to be deep diving into Sonic video stuff today, so buckle up because I'm going to be talking to you as if you're my best friend and I've just introduced you to the entire universe of Sonic from video games, TV shows, and comics. This is also because recently I have been introduced to the comics of the IDW Sonic, and also really been enjoying the Netflix show, and just in general going down the rabbit hole of Sonic video games that I enjoyed playing as a kid. I also wanted to share with you what if Stencil Fox was in the Sonic universe as a character, and my sketch of what if she was also caught up in the Zombot thing. Oh, and spoilers for just about everything Sonic if it wasn't obvious enough. Because I want to talk about as much as possible in this video without it taking an hour long. Now, eventually in future I will be covering like a lot more Sonic stuff in detail because obviously I can't fit everything in here, and there are some things such as the Archie comics and other obscure things that I'm either not familiar with at all or only briefly know a little bit of information. Some such things will even include something that some of you might know, like Nazo, I think was his name, a Sonic fan-made video series that I really enjoyed, but that's so obscure at the moment that I can't deep dive into that without making it its own video. As far as brief information on what Stencil Fox in the universe would be, I don't think that she'd have the same name. I just don't know off the top of my head the best fitting name for her for the Sonic universe. But I would imagine that pretty similarly to most of the other side characters, she'd probably just be able to do the general spin dashing and whatnot, but as far as powers, I'm not 100% sure if she would have any, or if she would be using these newly introduced Wispin weapons, or using the Wisps, or anything like that. I'm not 100% sure. That's something that I'll have to deep dive into a future video, but in general, I would imagine that she'd probably be like most of the other townsfolk, just enjoying her life, and if the need of call to action was to happen to her, she would. And also, I'd imagine that if she was caught in the Zombot virus, it would probably be because of one of her friends or partner or somebody they knew got infected and they would try to escape, but would probably either falter just because of the overwhelming avalanche of the Zombot virus, or just in general, anything like that. Like, I personally don't think I could bear the thought of losing my husband if such a zombie virus was to outbreak. And briefly gonna mention this here, because I've never really talked about zombies on here, and if you've seen some of my speed paints, I've mentioned that gore, even candy gore, is something that I really don't like to do, because if you tried to sit me down and have me watch The Walking Dead or anything zombie-like, I just can't get into it, no matter how hard or no matter how much you say, oh, but I think you'd really enjoy this series. I can't. Except for the Sonic IDW comics, where I was on the edge of my seat wondering who was going to get turned into a Zombot next. Now, this is probably because it's more like they're aggressively trying to tackle hug you to turn you into one, but then there's the darker element of it being that you are mindless, you are ravenous, and also I wouldn't want to be in the warpath of, like, of Shadow or any of the other characters beating you up, where you could turn into a big old pile of goop and then reform back into a solid state. It's quite scary, but I enjoy this different take on Sonic stuff in general, because it's something that normally I wouldn't think would exist for Sonic, but also the addition of the Netflix show showing us different versions, like Pirate Sonic's futuristic version of Amy where she's like 90% like robotic, which brings me back to the earlier days of remembering some of the older, I cannot remember what it was called, Sonic TV show with the Rabbit and I think Sally and all of them. I really cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, where they get turned into robotic by Robotnik. Not Eggman, but Robotnik, that version of him with the, I do not remember if their names were Itchy, Scratchy, something, the robots, the chicken and the other robot. I don't remember their names, please forgive me, but it's been so long since I've seen it. I was a literal child when I got to this is what I get for adding everything Sonic into a video. It's Scratch and Grounder Robot. I don't know why I made such a fuss instead of just Googling it. Back to the video. but I do actually have one of the, like, old Sonic Christmas DVDs with that version of Sonic, and Eggman just basically is like, I'm going to take over Santa's position, and I'm going to be Santa, and Sonic has to thwart him and stop him. It's the most obscure thing, and at the same time, it's random stuff like that that I enjoy. And this isn't even talking about the games yet. I really enjoy, in order, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Frontiers recently, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, yes, I enjoy that game, mostly for the soundtracks and just the nostalgia of silliness. Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Riders, yes, I do enjoy that game, but it's just because of the Babylon roads, it's really weird. Babylon? I don't know how to pronounce it. Sonic Rush, the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, Sonic Chronicles, Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, and although I've never personally played them, I enjoy the Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and Sonic Lost Worlds. And yeah, I do kind of enjoy Sonic 06, but I don't own the game anymore, and yeah, it's got lots of problems. And of course, because I didn't mention it, Sonic Forces is on my list because I bought the game, I spent proper money on this game hoping to enjoy it, creating characters in the character creating segments, but just it wasn't what I thought it would be, and I really thought that there would have been at least some kind of hub world that you could explore, but recently they've taken a liking to just zoom out, have a bunch of red dots on the map, and character selects, like, it doesn't work. Like, at least have tried to do something like Sonic Unleashed did, where your character could run around a hub world and talk to other Sonic characters, but no. But that's a gripe for another day. The main reason why I enjoy the top tiers of Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and Sonic Heroes and Sonic Frontiers recently is you have hub worlds to explore, or you have multiple characters that you can choose from to choose different sides of the story. The reason why I enjoy Sonic Adventure 2 specifically is you can choose the side of the heroes or the villains, but you still at the end of the story get it all tied together. Even if the villains technically win in your cutscenes, the heroes also win in their version of the cutscene, and at the end of it you get to see the whole thing click together. There's also darker themes to some of these that I really enjoy, the idea that Shadow the Hedgehog possibly died, or is an android, and all these weird hypothetical what-ifs are something that I enjoy, which leads me to fan fictions and alternate universes created by fans. I enjoy a lot of these weird, obscure comics. One such one is recently that I found one is Shadow is a vampire, and Sonic is a proper werehog. I also really enjoy being able to create things, and of course, as an artist, this means that I can create pretty much anything I want to within reason. Great power comes great responsibility, and I do not like the idea of people taking this and using it to their advantage of creating sinful things that go to the pits of the darkest points of the universe's black hole, because let me just preface this right off the bat as adults that I believe most of my audience is, never ever will I be okay with the idea of shipping adult characters and kid or minor characters, the same thing with human and animal characters. There is so many times that I wish I had the eye bleach to erase the memories that I've seen on the internet when just in general trying to have a good time and finding some new Sonic alternate universe fan comics and seeing characters like Shadow the Hedgehog with cream, most vomit-inducing thing that I've ever seen, and then also some people that decide that humans like Elise and Sonic are super cute together. It's not cute, it's animalphilia, bestiality, necrophilia, if you count the fact that she kissed a dead hedgehog, all of these disgusting things that shouldn't exist to begin with. And although these things do exist, there's also the idea that characters in alternate universe comics can change. Now, what I mean by this is Amy, throughout the multitude of times that I've searched on Google, is either permanently 12, permanently 16, or just in general, she's always way younger and a minor compared to every other Sonic character except for like Tails and Cream, who are kids. And I still don't know if Tails is even an adult by this point or if he's still a kid, because a lot of times he's referred to as a kid by Sonic and the others. And I like the idea that Sonic and Tails are like brothers. And this isn't really the main focus of a lot of Sonic stuff. Sure, every now and again you'll have the shenanigans of Amy chasing after Sonic, or you might have in the background Knuckles with Rouge, and even Rouge with Shadow for some reason. Stuff like that pops up, but mainly it's the idea of the viewers taking a lot of that stuff either out of context, or seeing a character being nice to somebody for the first time ever, and they have like a little bit of blush on their face, or a surprised look, and instantaneously they are lovers for the rest of their lives. I will admit, I'm a guilty person of this myself. I do find that kind of stuff interesting, but I also now, as an adult who's seen a lot of things, take a moment to pause and think, are they friends? Are they lovers? Do they actually not like each other and it wouldn't be good for them because it might be a dangerous, toxic relationship or anything like that? It's really hard when you're an adult who thinks too much about these kinds of things, whereas just naively as a teenager I'm like, Sonic and Shadow, they're cute together, they should kiss. It's really weird at the different stages of age and thinking, and also the additional factors involved, how that can play up. Because there's also people who can change characters, be it villains or the middle ground of gray hero, or even like underdogs and all of that. They can change a lot of things because, like I said, I actually really enjoyed the idea of Sonic Force's villain, more so in the fan creation of them than their canon. And of course, the additional context of if it is an extremely alternate universe, as long as it's not age bumping up a child character. Characters like Amy and Sonic are a typical couple that I could still see together as long as the canonical thing is they're both adults. But before this video drags on for too long, that is where I'm going to leave it for today. If you would like my specific thoughts on characters or any of the video games, perhaps some of my thoughts on the IDW comic specials, or anything like that, please let me know by leaving some comments and likes down below. As always, subscribblers, thank you all so very much for watching to the end of today's video. I hope you have a possum day, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'd like to give a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons, including Frankie Jr. 13. Hold it right there, don't click off this video just yet. Why not check out some playlists of my videos while you wait for the next upload, and if you'd like to support my works and see more, click that link card down below. Patreon exclusive rewards for the Fennec Fox tier includes access to secret artwork, Arctic Foxes get shoutouts at the end of my videos, and early access to art and videos. Red Foxes have the opportunity to be featured when I need background characters or a commission instead. Subscribe for free if you have not already to join the Subscribblers squad, and tag me in some of that artwork and I'll share it in the Subscribblers gallery. Stay possum, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.